Hello friends, this is seemownay. Thanks for joining me today for my very last video for the Shimmerz Education Team. I had an amazing year, but it's time to move on, and so I decided to create this amazing layout for you. Honestly, it's a total disaster. So I picked a cut file, which is this tree cut file that I found on the Paper Issues shop website. They have lots of free cut files, and I often just go there and find something that I can use. So my idea was to use these trees kind silhouettes, but also the cutouts, and I cut them out of this green cardstock. I did not use any gesso or anything. I just thought that I was going to use several green colors from Shimmerz. I have Coloringz, I have some Shimmerz, I have some, you will see, I'm just looking through. So these are two Coloringz that I'm going to use, or actually three. I have a Spritz Golden Leaf Clover, something, and then I'm pulling out these, now I don't remember their name. The ones where you have to add water, I need to look it up, and I'll put all the paints that I used in the description box below, so you can, if you want to, if you like a color, you can go ahead to the Shimmerz store and get that over there. Did you know that when you enter my name on checkout, that you can receive a free gift from them? So I'm dipping my paintbrush into the paint, and I decided that I didn't really know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to just drip some paint on there. Then I used this to just dip the tree in it. I wanted to create some, texture, because this green cardstock is so flat, and so my idea was to create some texture on this with the color so that it doesn't look as flat as it does now. And that's a really nice way to add color and shimmer and to make things look more interesting. First I dipped, then I sprayed. I was going to also use splatters, but sometimes the paint just didn't come off the brush, and I didn't splatter just downwards, I also splattered upwards, and my kids came home from school because this layout took me hours because, I wasn't happy with how it turned out, and the only thing I'm using are these trees, but I made a background as well, and I worked it all in, but it just didn't look right, and so I started over again. But I was so involved into this whole splattering and painting and dipping that actually I had green splatters all over my face. And when my son came home from school and I opened the door, he was like, "Mom, what do you look like? Did you know you had green paint in your face?" Yeah, that's me, the mixed media artist seemownay, splattering paint not only onto the cardstock but also onto her face. And now you can see what I mean by adding texture. These trees looked okay. They were just trees in the beginning, but now with all the color, all the greens splattered on top, they just look a little bit more interesting. So I put them away. I dried them. I tried to wait for a while until they dried by themselves, because as you could see, they were really the cardstock without gesso. The color and water just soaks right in, and then it's actually really flimsy and tender also. So you really need to be careful that you don't rip your stuff apart. And then I started my layering and constructing the layers and using stuff. I had received the crepe paper, is it Merry and Bright ephemera pack in a Coco Daisy classified kit, and I thought that it would really look nice with these photos. They are family photos that we took at the mall. My sister was here last year, and it had this really, the colors were green trees in the background, and then there was this huge red metal joy that we all sat in front of, but it just didn't. I wanted to make Christmas cards using these photos, but none of the ones where we looked nice looked right, and we were just too tiny in front of the joy, and without the joy, we didn't have any zoomed in photos. My sister zoomed in when we were doing our stupid weird faces, and so I decided to use these photos just for this layout, and I liked the Christmas colors, or the not, well, there are traditional Christmas colors in the ephemera pack and traditional icons like this nutcracker, but there's also different shades of these colors, and it looked really, really nice. And so in lots of these ephemera pieces are huge, and I don't have a use for them, and so instead of using a lot of pattern paper, as you can see, I just used the big die cut pieces that I liked part of, like the color or the golden outline or frame of it, that I used on the layout and for layering behind my photos, but I didn't really care for the images that were on top of them. Now I'm trying to, well, not assemble, but to place the photos next to each other so that I like it. And I'm doing this because my idea was I prepped a cardstock, and I used also some mixed media on the background, and I wanted to do kind of a horizontal design with the two photos in the middle, or kind of in the middle, maybe a little bit off center, and then trees lining the photos to the right and to the left. And so these ephemera, I'm using the pattern paper that I used as a layer behind my photos, just to see how wide 12 inches are and how far I can build the photo cluster with the embellishments so that I still have room for the trees. And now you can see this is what the finished layout looked like. Layering these embellishments just did not, or the trees that I created just did not work. And so I'm pulling it all apart. And the Coco Daisy kits came with this paper that I really liked, but didn't really know how to use. But it was laying around there, and I took my photo cluster off, and I was really amazed at how it looked on top of this paper. And so what I'm doing now is I'm looking at it. I'm just placing the things that I pulled off the old layout lightly, and just looking if this is how I want it to, well, if this is where I want to go, or if I'm just going to trash it all, or what I'm going to do. And then I consult my friend Susanna and tell her, look at this complete layout disaster. And I took a photo and asked her, and she suggested to turn the paper around. So she said, yes, you are right. The other one was a nice idea, but that's not you at all. Go with this layout. And so instead of having this really green background and all of those trees scattered behind my photos, I'm just using 3 of the green trees, and I'm splattering some gold, what is it called? I think it's Glorious Days, and then I'm calling the layout done. So yeah, let me tell you why the background didn't work. Maybe that is something that helps you in the future as well. The thing that I had in my head, the visualization of this layout was different trees layered on top of each other, and maybe I should have used a lot of more dimension to do that, or different sizes. It just didn't look right. And here is the paper turned. It looks a lot better. I don't know why I didn't think of this, but yeah. So the branches or twigs that were printed on the page that are on the top left corner kind of anchor the or ground the whole design of my spread. And then it has this diagonal flow, even though it is kind of a horizontal design. But by the way, I am pulling down the journaling that is going to be underneath the title, which is Merry Christmas. I get this diagonal from the top left to the bottom right. It's just more me, I guess. I have been using less and less things, not cluttering my backgrounds and layouts that much lately. And if you've been watching my channel, you know that I have been very minimal in my project life. So maybe that's just my ever-evolving style. Not that much color, and that's also a good way why I shouldn't continue on Shimmerz. I absolutely loved being on the team. It challenged me a lot. I learned many things, and I'm very, very grateful to Stacy and Sammy for giving me the chance and having me on their team. I loved using all the colors and the products, and if I ever need to go back and stock up on paint, I will definitely choose Shimmerz over any other products. So I'm not leaving because I'm not behind the product line. It's just that I need to not have that many commitments in my life at the moment. Yeah, that is it. I'm adding gold. I had added gold splatters, and I'm adding enamel dots just to have some gold on this spread, because the title is this gold glitter, and I thought we needed more. Now the only thing that is left, and I know that some people just don't like when you're cutting off your branding strip at the end, is cutting off my branding strip, and that is the layout. I hope you enjoy watching me and me struggle. I'm very happy that I did not stop and told myself that that was all I could do. Here is a close-up at the trees. They look fabulous, and as you can see, the glitter in the trees has more of a silvery tint. That doesn't mean that you cannot add gold to the layout. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for the time that you took out of your day, and thanks for supporting me. I really appreciate each and every comment and like. And yeah, I will see you next time somewhere on YouTube. Until then, bye!